Padre Pio, in 1968, hours before his death, revealed a profound secret, a secret whispered on the eve of September 23rd. He spoke of a spiritual portal, opening each year on that very date, a gateway where the veil between worlds thins. He shared a ritual, a simple yet powerful ritual, to protect your family, using a glass of water, placed by your door. But it must be done precisely as he instructed. One mistake, and you invite the opposite of what you seek. Pay close attention. Have you ever felt your home vulnerable, as if any energy could penetrate its walls? Have you noticed increased discord amongst your family after certain visits? Have you ever awakened, knowing something evil was trying to enter, but failed? In the next few minutes, you will learn the exact ritual used by Padre Pio to shield thousands of homes, a ritual so potent, the Church kept it discreet for decades. Today, September 23rd, is the only day of the year it works with full power. It was September 22nd, 1968, the night before Padre Pio's passing. He lay in his cell in San Giovanni Rotondo, breathing with difficulty. Friars surrounded him, praying. Suddenly, at 11 p.m., Padre Pio opened his eyes with an urgency that startled everyone. "Summon the families," he commanded. "All who can. I have something vital to teach." The friars hesitated. Padre Pio was dying, but his voice held an authority from another realm. Within minutes, dozens of families filled the corridor. Padre Pio, with superhuman effort, sat up in bed. What he said that night would change thousands of lives. "Listen carefully," he began. "Tomorrow when I depart, a portal will open. Every September 23rd, on the anniversary of my death, the veil between worlds thins. Good can enter more easily, but so can evil. Therefore, I will teach you a protective ritual, learned from the angels." A woman in the crowd, Francesca, interrupted, weeping. "Padre, my home is infested. My children cannot sleep. My husband drinks. Nothing I do works." Padre Pio looked at her with infinite compassion. "Francesca, what I am about to teach will save your family, but you must do exactly as I say. Ritual is seemingly simple, yet profoundly powerful. First, you need a glass, clear glass. It cannot be plastic, it cannot be colored. Clear glass. Why? Because glass is made from sand, and sand is earth purified by fire. It's a sacred element. Second, the water. It's not just any water, water that has been blessed, or if you don't have blessed water, water you bless. How? Hold the glass of water in your hands, close your eyes, say, "Lord, transform this water into a shield. May it protect my home, as the blood of the Lamb protected the people of Israel." Simple, but with faith. Third, and here's the secret, if you know, the glass must be placed on the right side of your main door. Always on the right side for those entering. Why? Because in Jewish tradition, the right side is the side of protection. It's where the mezuzah was placed. Padre Pio studied Kabbalah, HKNEW. Fourth, the time must be placed at sunrise or sunset. These are the moments when day and night meet. Light and darkness are in balance. At these times, prayers have more power. Rituals work better. But Padre Pio didn't stop there. He revealed something that shocked everyone. The water in the glass isn't merely symbolic, it literally changes. If there is an evil presence trying to enter, the water turns cloudy. If there is illness, it bubbles. If there is envy directed at the family, it diminishes without evaporating, Francesca asked. "And if the water changes, what do we do?" Padre Pio answered. "You discard the water, far from your home, preferably in running water, a river, the sea, even the toilet, and you replace it with fresh water. The water has absorbed the evil. It has fulfilled its purpose. Now it needs to be renewed." A man in the back shouted, "Padre, this is superstition." Padre Pio looked at him with seriousness. "Giuseppe, do you think Moses was superstitious when he placed blood on the doors? Do you think Jesus was superstitious when he used saliva and clay to heal the body? God uses physical elements to manifest the spiritual. He always has." That night, Padre Pio taught details never written. He said the glass should be changed every 7 days. That, in serious cases, you could place a glass at each door and window. That if the family was under heavy spiritual attack, should add 3 grains of course salt to the water. But he warned, salt is a double-edged sword. It protects, but it can also repel good energies if used in excess. Therefore, only 3 grains, no more, no less, and only in extreme situations. Salt represents the covenant. 3 grains represent the Trinity. It is concentrated divine protection. At 2 a.m. on the 23rd, Padre Pio gave his final instructions. When I depart, he said, I will leave a sign. Everyone who performs this ritual on September 23rd will feel my presence. It may be the scent of roses. It may be an inexplicable breeze. It may be a sudden peace. But I will be there. At 2:30 a.m., Padre Pio died, murmuring, Jesus. But before closing his eyes for the last time, he held Francesca's hand and said, Go now, place the glass, save your family. She raced home. It was almost 3 a.m. when she placed the first glass. What happened next was documented not only by Francesca, but by neighbors and even the local police. At exactly 3:33, Francesca's house shook. It wasn't an earthquake, only her house. The windows vibrated, the furniture moved slightly, and then silence. But not ordinary silence, sacred silence. Francesca rushed to see the glass. The water was bubbling violently, as if boiling, but it was cold to the touch. She understood. Something was being expelled. Something that had been there for a long time. Her children, who hadn't slept in weeks, suddenly fell into the deepest sleep. Her husband, who had gone out to drink, returned home sober and weeping, begging for forgiveness. In the following days, the transformation was total. The house that was heavy became light. The arguments ceased. The illnesses that were constant disappeared. Neighbors began to ask what had changed. Francesca shared the ritual. Within a week, the entire street had glasses on their doors. But the most striking case happened with Antonio, a skeptic who lived opposite. He mocked Francesca, saying it was coincidence. Till the day he tried to enter his home drunk and violent, as he always did. Reached the door and stopped. He couldn't enter. There was an invisible force preventing him. He tried to force it. He pushed, he kicked, nothing. It was as if there was an invisible wall. Frustrated, he looked to the side and saw the glass his wife had placed hidden. Furious, he tried to kick the glass. His legs stopped in midair. He couldn't touch the glass. That's when he understood. There was something real there. Antonio fell to his knees weeping. For the first time in years, he recognized the evil he carried. Violence, the alcoholism, the rage, all of that could no longer enter his home. The glass, it created a barrier, only allowing entry to those who came in peace. He had to ask for forgiveness. Genuinely. He allowed in. Remember when I spoke about September 23rd being special? It's no coincidence. Padre Pio chose to die on that day. Yes, he chose. Witnesses recount that days before he said, I need to depart on the day of St. Pius V, my patron saint. But St. Pius V is celebrated on April 30th. Why September 23rd then? Because September 23rd holds a Kabbalistic secret. 23 is the number of chromosomes each parent gives to their child. The number of life. September is the 9th month. 9 is the number of gestation. September 23rd is esoterically the day of rebirth. Padre Pio knew this. He transformed the day of his death into a day of universal protection. Let me tell you about a recent case. 2023, São Paulo, Brazil. The Silva family was desperate. Their 16-year-old son had changed completely. Aggressive. Violent, speaking nonsense. Psychiatrists found nothing. The tests were normal, but the mother, Donna Maria Knew. This wasn't an illness. On September 23, 2023, Donna Maria learned about the ritual through a video. At 6 a.m., she placed the glass. 6:23 a.m., her son woke up screaming. But it wasn't him screaming, it was something leaving him. He vomited a black substance that doctors could never explain. Then he fainted. When he woke up, he was different. The sweet son had returned. He didn't remember the last few months. If it had been a nightmare. Donna Maria checked the glass. The water had turned completely black. She threw it away as Padre Pio taught. She put in fresh water. In 3 days, the water remained clear. The evil had gone. But I need to warn you about common mistakes. First mistake. Using a plastic cup thinking it makes no difference. It does. Plastic is dead. Synthetic material. Doesn't conduct spiritual energy. Second mistake. Forgetting to change the water. Stagnant water for more than 7 days becomes dead water. Instead of protecting, it attracts. Third mistake, and this is serious, placing the glass on the left side of the door. The left side in esoteric tradition is the side where energies enter. Place the protection there, you're also blocking blessings. Always the right side. Always. Fourth mistake. Performing the ritual with doubt or mockery. Padre Pio was clear. Faith is the activator. Without faith, it's just water in a glass. With faith, it's a divine shield. It doesn't have to be Catholic faith. It can be faith in good, in protection, in love, but there must be faith. Now I'll reveal something few know. Padre Pio left a variation of the ritual for extreme protection. When the family is under severe spiritual attack, when there are inexplicable illnesses, when conflicts are constant, it's the ritual of the 7 cups. 7 cups, one for each day of the week, each with a specific intention. Monday, protection of work. Tuesday, family harmony. Wednesday, health. Thursday, prosperity. Friday, spiritual protection. Saturday, cleansing. Sunday, gratitude. But be careful, only do this if truly necessary. Excessive power without need can cause imbalance. It was then that the documented miracle happened. It was September 23, 2019, a pediatric hospital in Rome. A 7-year-old girl, Sophia, was terminally ill. Doctors had given up hope. Desperate parents remembered Padre Pio's ritual. It was September 23rd. They asked permission to place a glass of water in the room. The head nurse, a devotee of Padre Pio, not only allowed it, but helped. At 3 p.m., the hour of Jesus' death, they placed the glass. 3:23 p.m., the monitors began to beep. But it wasn't worsening. Vital signs were improving dramatically. Doctors rushed in. There was no explanation. The water in the glass began to bubble. Everyone saw it. It's recorded on security cameras. Cold water bubbling as if boiling. Suddenly, the entire room smelled of roses. Nurses from other floors came down asking where the fragrance was coming from. Sophia opened her eyes and said, "The bearded priest is here." 72 hours, Sophia was discharged. Complete recovery. Doctors ran all the tests. An operable brain tumor had disappeared, simply vanished. The case was sent to the Vatican. It's under investigation as an official miracle. But the family knows. It was the glass. It was Padre Pio. It was the 23rd. Padre Pio said that generosity attracts multiplied blessings. If this message touched your heart, if you felt the urgency to protect your family, YouTube has that golden button down there, the super thanks. It's not an ordinary donation. Offering that Padre Pio transforms into multiplied protection for your home. Each super thanks helps bring this sacred knowledge to more families in need. Padre Pio promised, "Those who help spread my devotion, I will personally protect from above." May St. Pius multiply in protection what you decide to offer. The most powerful part you need to do right now is to prepare the ritual correctly. First, choose the glass. It has to be yours, not borrowed. Clear glass, no designs, no color. Clean it with water and salt before using it for the first time. Salt energetically purifies. Second, the water. If you don't have blessed water, do this. Place the water in the glass. Make the sign of the cross 3 times over it, saying, "In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, may this water be a shield and protection. Amen." Simple but powerful. Intention consecrates. Third, the exact location. Right side of the main door, on the floor against the wall. Not on a piece of furniture. On the floor. The earth amplifies the power. If you have small children or animals, that might knock it. Place something protecting it, but that doesn't cover the glass. The water needs to breathe. Fourth, maintenance. Every day as you pass the door, mentally reinforce, "This water protects my home." You don't need to speak aloud. Is energy. Every 7 days, change the water. Even if it looks clean. The energy depletes. Old water becomes a magnet for negativity. Fifth, warning signs. If the water evaporates very quickly, something is sucking energy from the house. If it becomes cloudy, dense energies tried to enter. If it bubbles, there was a spiritual confrontation. If it decreases without evaporating, targeted envy. If it overflows without reason, blessing is coming. Now, special cases. 2-story house, 1 glass on each floor. Apartment, only at the main door. Business, at the customer entrance and at the employee entrance. Car, it doesn't work in motion, but you can leave it in the garage where the car sleeps. Sick children. In addition to the glass at the door, a small glass in the room out of reach. Elderly, they can drink 3 sips of the water from the glass once a week for internal protection. Pregnant women, Adding a rue leaf to the glass increases the baby's protection. Some people ask, what if I travel? Place the glass before leaving. Ask someone to change the water if it's been more than 7. No one is available. Visualize the glass being renewed. Padre Pio said, faith transcends distances. What you consecrate with faith remains consecrated. And if my glass breaks, if it was an accident, simply replace it. If it was intentional, besides replacing it, perform a 9-day novena to Saint Michael the Archangel. Intentionally breaking sacred protection attracts consequences for the one who broke it. But it also opens a temporary breach. The novena. Now the most important thing, the glass alone does not perform miracles. Padre Pio was emphatic. It's an instrument, like a lightning rod. It doesn't prevent the lightning, but it redirects it. The glass doesn't prevent evil from existing, but it prevents it from entering. You still need to watch, pray, forgive, love. Let me tell you about Pedro, an atheist who tested the ritual. His wife placed the glass in hiding, Pedro came home drunk, died. At the door, He stopped. He felt something. He didn't know what. He saw the glass. He was going to kick it, His foot didn't obey. He was paralyzed, staring at the water, at that moment. Pedro saw his reflection in the glass, but it wasn't his current face. It was him as a child, pure, before life hardened his heart. He broke down crying. When his wife opened the door, she found a broken man asking for forgiveness. The glass had shown who he really was beneath all. Pedro never drank again. He became a devotee of Padre Pio. Today he distributes holy water and teaches the ritual to other alcoholics. He says, the glass didn't convert me. It showed me that I needed conversion. It's a mirror of water that reflects the soul, but beware of false rituals. There are people selling special water from Padre Pio. A lie. Holy water from any church will do. People saying you need a crystal glass. A lie. Ordinary glass will work. There are people charging to perform the ritual. Padre Pio never charged anything. True ritual is free. Simple. Accessible. Accessible. It was made for the poor, the desperate. The abandoned. If someone is complicating it or charging. It's not from Padre Pio. He said, God doesn't sell graces. He gives them freely to those who ask with faith. Now I will reveal the last secret, the master glass. This is when you consecrate a glass on September 23rd to use throughout the year as a source. You perform the complete ritual on that day, with fasting. Prayer. Confession if you are Catholic. This glass becomes a source of personal holy water. Whenever you need water for other glasses. You take it from this master glass. It maintains the energy of the 23rd throughout the year. But pay attention, this glass doesn't stay by the door. It stays on an altar or in a sacred place. Spiritual reserve. A family in Portugal did this. The father had cancer, the mother had depression. The son was on drugs. On September 23, 2022, they made the master glass. They placed glasses at all the doors with water from it. In 6 months, father cured, mother recovered, son clean. Coincidence? They are certain it wasn't Dr. Francesco Rossi, a physician and researcher, decided to study the phenomenon. He collected water from 100 ritualized glasses on the 23rd, chemical analysis. But when he put the water under sound frequencies, something inexplicable happened. The water from the glasses formed perfect geometric patterns. Ordinary water formed chaotic patterns. He went further. He tested the effect of the water on plants. 2 identical plants. One watered with water from the glass. The other with ordinary water. In 30 days. The plant with the water from the glass was 40% larger and healthier. He published the study. The scientific community ignored it, but he knows what he saw. There's a story that Padre Pio only told once about the first glass. It was Mary. Mother of Jesus. Who started it. After the crucifixion, she placed water by the door to protect the apostles. The water was from the jars of Cana. Where the first miracle happened. Water that had been wine, that had been water. Padre Pio discovered this in mystical ecstasy. He saw Mary teaching the ritual to Mary Magdalene. Saw it passed down from generation to generation. Secretly. Until it reached him. That's why it works. It's not an invention. It's a 2,000-year-old tradition that was hidden. On the day of Padre Pio's death, something extraordinary happened in all the houses that had the glass. At 2:30 a.m., the exact time of death. All the glasses bubbled simultaneously. From Rome to Sao Paulo, from New York to Manila, thousands of testimonies, as if Padre Pio was saying goodbye, but he didn't go away, to perform the ritual, no. Especially on the 23rd. That's when he's most present, protecting, interceding, guiding, The glass is the physical sign of real spiritual protection. It's the sacrament of the door, as some devotees call it. If your family is in danger, if your home feels heavy, you feel that evil is lurking, don't wait, today. September 23rd is the perform the ritual, place the glass, and observe. In 24 hours, something will change, It may be subtle. It may be dramatic, but it will change. And remember, the glass is the beginning. Padre Pio said, I open the door, but you need to cross it. I show the way, but you need to walk. I offer protection, but you need to accept it. The glass is an invitation to a more protected life. Accept it. Write Padre Pio, protect my family in the comments now, not later, now. It's a public commitment. And public commitment has power. How many glasses will you place? Share. Let's create a chain of protection, Each protected house protects the street. Each protected street protects the neighborhood. Each protected neighborhood protects the city. But let me tell you about the documented phenomena that happened with the glass, in 22. A team of documentarians was making a film about Padre Pio in San Giovanni Rotondo. They decided to test the glass ritual for the documentary. They placed cameras from all angles. On September 23rd at 6 a.m., they placed the glass. Nothing happened in the first few hours. The director was already disappointed, suddenly, at 2:30 p.m. Exactly 12 hours after Padre Pio's death. Possible, the glass moved, by 3 centimeters to the right, it's recorded, but that wasn't all. The water inside the glass started to spin, like a miniature whirlpool, spinning clockwise. The physicists who analyzed the video couldn't explain it. There was no air current. There was no vibration, The water simply spun by itself. The sound captured by the microphones was even more intriguing. At the moment the water was spinning, a 432 Hz frequency was detected. Frequency of healing, according to music therapists, but there was no sound source. The sound came from the water itself. One of the cameramen, Marco, a self-proclaimed atheist, had an experience that shook him. He was filming the glass up close when he felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned around. There was no one there. But the feeling was so real that he ran away. When he came back, reviewing the recording, you can see a shadow behind him at the exact moment, and the documentary was never released. The church asked for discretion, but the recordings exist. They are in the Vatican archives. They prove what devotees have always known. The glass ritual is not symbolic, it's real, it's powerful. It's divine. Now let me teach you important variations of the ritual for specific situations. For protecting babies, use warm water, not cold. Add a drop of breast milk if the mother is breastfeeding. Breast milk is the first sacred nourishment. Binds physical and spiritual protection. For homes with a history of suicide or violent death. Besides the glass by the door, place a small mirror facing the door behind glass. The mirror reflects back any negative residual energy, but beware, the mirror must be new, never used. To protect against the specific envy of someone you know, write the person's name on a piece of paper. Place it under the glass without touching the water. The water neutralizes the directed negative energy. After 7 days, burn the paper and throw the ashes into running water. For homes where there has been marital infidelity, use 2 glasses, one on each side of the door. This represents the duality that needs to be balanced. When harmony returns to the couple, you can go back to just 1 glass. It usually takes 21 days. To protect a business with a lot of unfair competition. In addition to the glass at the entrance, place 3 copper coins at the bottom of the glass. Copper conducts energy. Coins attract fair prosperity while blocking sabotage. Change the coins monthly. There's a variation that Padre Pio taught only to single mothers. They are energetically vulnerable because they carry double responsibility. The ritual, in addition to the glass by the door. The mother should put 3 drops of water on her children's foreheads every morning, making a cross. Amplified maternal protection. For elderly people living alone, the glass can have a votive candle floating in it. The flame represents the life that still burns. The water represents the purity of the spirit. Together, they create a barrier against the loneliness that attracts parasitic energies. The candle should be changed daily. Now, the mistakes that invalidate the ritual ... First, using tap water in a city with a lot of chlorine. Chlorine kills the energetic properties of the water ... If you only have chlorinated water, let it sit for 24 hours before using it. Chlorine evaporates ... A second fatal error, placing the glass and forgetting it. The ritual needs daily attention, even if it's just a glance as you pass by ... Attention fuels the protection. Neglect weakens it. It's like a plant. Without attention, it dies. A third serious error, mixing rituals. Some people place Padre Pio's glass along with other amulets, crystals, symbols of other religions. It doesn't work. Each protection has its own frequency. Mixing creates interference. It's like playing two songs at the same time. It becomes noise. Let me tell you about the emergency protocol that Padre Pio taught for extreme situations. When there is imminent risk of death, confirmed possession, or generational curse, it involves 9 glasses. 1 at the main door, 1 in each corner of the house, 1 in the center. The 9 glasses must be placed simultaneously at noon sharp, each with a specific prayer. It's a spiritual siege. Nothing malevolent can stay inside ... But it's intense. The family may feel pressure, dizziness, even fainting. It's the negative energy being squeezed out. There's a case in Naples, 2015. An entire family was dying from a mysterious illness. Doctors couldn't find anything. 3 had already died. The survivors performed the 9 glasses protocol. The 3rd day, a snake was found dead in the attic ... It was over 9 feet long. No one knew how it got there. The snake was in advanced decomposition, but veterinarians said it had died only 3 days before. A coincidence with the ritual. Inside it, they found objects, hair, photos, even a fingernail. Black magic work. The snake was the vehicle. The glasses cut the connection. The family recovered completely. But the most impressive case of all happened in San Giovanni Rotondo itself, in 2018. A church was being renovated. They found a glass hidden in the wall. It had been there since 1960, placed by Padre Pio himself. The water was still in the glass. After 50 years, they analyzed the water. It was perfect. No bacteria, no fungi, no deterioration. Still water for 50 years should be rotten, but it was pure, as if it had been placed that day. More, it had curative properties. 3 terminally ill people who drank drops of this water were cured. Vatican confiscated the glass and the water. It's being studied. But it leaked that the water has a different molecular structure. The hydrogen atoms are in a position that doesn't exist in nature, as if it had been restructured by something beyond known physics. This leads us to the deepest mystery of the ritual. Padre Pio said shortly before he died, the water remembers. It holds memory. When you pray over it, it records the prayer. When you bless it, it retains the blessing. That's why it works. Water is God's hard drive. Japanese scientists have proven this. Dr. Masaru Emoto photographed water crystals after different stimuli. Water that received prayers formed perfect, geometric, beautiful crystals. Water that received words of hate formed deformed, chaotic crystals. Water responds to consciousness. That's why the mental state when performing the ritual is crucial. If you place the glass with anger, the water absorbs anger. If you place it with fear, it absorbs fear. But if you place it with faith, love, hope, the water becomes a liquid crystal of pure protection. There's an exercise that Padre Pio taught to enhance this. Before placing the water in the glass, hold the empty glass, visualize golden light filling the ... Imagine all your benevolent ancestors blowing blessings into the glass. Only then put in the water. It will enter a field already prepared ... Another advanced technique, lunar programming. The ritual performed on the new moon has cleansing power. On the waxing moon, protection. Yes. On the full moon, manifestation. On the waning moon, banishment. If you synchronize the ritual of the 23rd with the correct lunar phase for your need, the power multiplies. For example, the 23rd on a new moon is perfect for cleansing curses ... The 23rd on a full moon is ideal for manifesting cures. The 23rd on a waning moon is great for banishing visas. Padre Pio knew sacred astrology. He chose the moments. Now about the specific water ... The best water is spring water ... Water that has never been channeled ... But if you don't have access, the second best is rainwater collected directly. Third option, natural mineral water. Last option, filtered water left to stand. Never use. Distilled water, it's energetically dead. Sparkling water, the CO2 interferes. Flavored water, the chemicals block. Seawater excess salt can attract instead of protect polluted river water. It carries dense energy. Regarding the ideal glass. A simple transparent glass is the basic one that works. But if you want to enhance it, real crystal not crystal glass amplifies it tenfold. Hand-blown glass carries the energy of the blower. It was made with love, it adds protection. The size matters. A glass that's too small, less than 200 milliliters, has little reach. It only protects the entrance. A glass that's too large, over 500 milliliters, can create a very strong energy field, causing discomfort for sensitive individuals. The ideal size? Between 250 and 350 milliliters. The shape matters too. A straight-sided glass channels energy vertically. A connection between heaven and earth. A wider glass at the top disperses protection horizontally. A glass with a wide base is more energetically stable. Avoid glasses with designs or colors. They interfere with the water's programming. There's a secret, known only to those closest to Padre Pio. The generational glass. It's a glass passed down through generations. Always used in a sacred ritual. Accumulating power with each use. Families who maintain this tradition report extraordinary protection. One family in Sicily has had a generational glass for 200 years. They've survived wars, earthquakes, the mafia, pandemic. The glass possesses a palpable energy. Sensitive people feel dizzy just being near it. Water placed inside it bubbles on its own for a few seconds, but beware. Generational glass is used with ill intent even once, All the accumulated power reverses. It becomes a curse. That's why these families guard the glass like a relic. Only the head of the family can handle it. Sacred responsibility. To create your own generational glass. Choose a special glass. Consecrate it on September 23rd with fasting and prayer. Use it only for the ritual, never for drinking. Pass it down to your children with clear instructions. In 3 generations, it will have remarkable power. Padre Pio is waiting, the glass is waiting, Protection is waiting. All that's left is for you to add the water, Place it by the door, and let heaven watch over your family. Do this today, September 23rd. The day the veil is thinnest, The day Padre Pio is closest. The day of TOTAL protection.